Hi everyone, this is Jill. Jill Speaks Wisdom. We're talking about narcissistic abuse, how to identify that you're in a relationship with a narcissist, how to deal with it, how to break free if possible, and just a lot of information about the way they act, what they do, things that can help you determine how you will act in order to get through things. So today I'm talking about if you have a narcissistic sibling, you may not notice it. I knew there was something up with my one older brother for years, how he would act so cold, and I never really understood why. I thought it was maybe the wife, the sister-in-law made him that way. But in fact, in my 50s, I had to finally say, oh gosh, he's definitely a narcissist based on the story I'm going to tell you right now. The narcissist, in their mind, they choose never to believe the scapegoat, and the scapegoat would be me. They would determine that I and the family would determine who the scapegoat was in childhood and continue to treat them as such. So the story, it was about my dad who was passing away in the hospital, and the brother refused to believe me that it was happening. He just kind of ignored me. I don't know what I'm talking about. He was just there the night before, and the doctor said everything was fine. But yet, when I went the following day with my two little sons, what we saw, we knew that it was going to be the end. And, I reached out and told him, and he basically said, you don't know what you're talking about. He was fine. Nothing's wrong. Why are you even saying that? And I said, because I know. I see it. I see what's happening. I talked to the nurses. I've looked at the chart. Didn't want to believe me. So the scapegoat, the victim of the narc, is the true, honest individual who will never get any sort of understanding or respect from the narcissist. The narcissist will not respect what you're saying, ever. So as our father was in the hospital, that was well over a decade ago, my brother had went to see him the night before. I went to see him, like I said, later. I knew he wasn't going to make it. And even after I called to tell my brother, what was happening, he refused to believe me, and he wasn't going to leave his vacation. And at the time, it was so sad. I was a single mom, and my two little boys had happened to see what my brother should have saw. And they were like, oh my God, Mom, how could he not believe you? He's not believing you on the phone. And I just said, don't worry. But even as kids, they couldn't understand why their uncle wasn't believing what we were saying. After that, early the next morning, we got a call that he had passed. Called my brother again. He hadn't even left his vacation spot. It was about 3 hours away. So he left, and when he arrived, of course, my father had passed. And there was never any discussion as to my phone call, what had happened, never asked me any questions, just sort of showed up for my narc mom, stood with her, and, anything I had said previous, was just pushed away. And so I just accepted that that's how it was, and I had to almost mourn on my own. And I don't know if any of you have experienced something like this, but it can just go to show you how bad this is. Even you will be scapegoated up to the moment that you're telling them that your parent is passing away, and they don't believe you because nothing you say is right ever. So let me know. Any comments? I'd love to hear what you have to say. I've kind of kept this in for years. I never talk about it, but yeah, it's pretty terrible. So please subscribe, and let's hope we can all help each other on this journey if we have these people in our lives, or maybe not in our lives anymore. This particular person, the brother, we both kind of walked away from each other a couple of years ago. So that's probably better for all parties, considering there will never be any respect. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Bye-bye.